stream is kicking up, and we're on. All right. So, welcome back to A Crown of Cold Iron, our Himbo Fight Night series, otherwise known as Banner and Norton's, after the bar/fight club, is coming to a rapid close. In more ways than one, actually. So tonight, it's Himbo Fight Night Catastrophe. So, last time, the party was following up with a contact of Lexi's, an old military service buddy named Tyler, who is closely connected to the underground fighting rings of Queensboro. Tyler, in fact, runs one of the rings himself, and in the previous, say, 3 months or so, has taken on some new partners, expanding what was essentially a painted circle in a basement into this larger on the inside, massive fighting space filled not just with human fighters, but human and fae. You all were hoping to find leads on any number of the issues that have been plaguing you. The servants of the Kate Sea, who have been harassing you all both legally, magically, spiritually, and physically. The looming threat of some kind of human trafficking, which Oryx's patron has set him to resolve. Also, you've discovered that there are apparently some strange connections to the Kingsguard happening here. Something you did not foresee before you arrived. But none of that matters now, because during the final fight, a massive blowout between Lieutenant Davis, who is apparently undercover infiltrating the Kingsguard, and the resurrected Shane Allowin, the previously thought dead member of the Kingsguard, who was killed by Cyrus's friend Alex. But apparently Shane is up and about again. And they are the last two standing in an epic four-way brawl that previously included Leon and a fourth person.
Tyler.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Tyler, Davis, Leon, and Shane. There we go. Leon and Shane have been knocked to the side, but Tyler and Davis are literally like lighting the place up with multicolored bursts of light magic. And while everyone has been distracted, Auric has seen a very strange scene unfolding. So we're going to roll back a couple of minutes, because even though for us the fight was about 2 hours, in actual game terms it was about a minute, 2 minutes. So there's not a whole lot of time actually passing. But basically I'm going to give each of you a chance to kind of spot something. Auric has already kind of locked into something, and I'm going to give him some more detail. So what has Cyrus been watching while this fight's happening?
Actually, has almost certainly been watching Shane. I think as soon and trying to figure out when to text Alex if he can learn anything more before he texts Alex. Yeah, so I think Cyrus has been keeping a close eye on Shane, knowing that he's not supposed to be there.
Give me either a perception or arcana check.
Arcana 23.
Arcana 23. All right. So you have a pretty good idea Alex is not going to tell you that they killed someone and mysteriously disappeared them and get the job wrong. Like, you know the kind of training you had from Mort. If Alex tells you someone is dead, they're probably dead.
Right.
So there is something very strange happening here.
He's a zombie.
Well, so you can kind of run down in your head some of the magical options. Your mind has been expanded to the possibilities. You've seen a lot of shape changers recently, Alex included among them, and you've been known to borrow a face or outfit on occasion yourself. But one advantage to a fight night is that there's lots of direct physical contact in a way that most illusion magic isn't meant for. And you know what to watch for. You're pretty sure this isn't an illusion, because there'd be weirdnesses of like where like the hit boxes are wrong, to put it in video game terms. Like the fists would go like partially into people or like hit before they actually connected. You're pretty sure that's not it. A true zombie, like a necrotic creature, even a very powerful one, would not look alive in the same way, for sure. If this was a white or a zombie or even like a lich, they all tend to be very like visibly undead things. But you don't see it as clearly as Lexi, but you've seen enough of the hero light now to start recognizing some of the nuance. Shane is using hero light at an exceptional level. It's a lot of power, and he's using it very well. You've also discovered it tends to come in sort of flavors. And I don't think you've seen this one before. Shane's hero light has a strange, distinctive red tinge to the edge. Almost like white light bursts out and then dribbles into blood at the end. You would think that whatever is making Shane alive seems to be related to the hero light, but not a form of the hero light you've seen before. Lexi, what are you keeping an eye out for during the fight? It can be in the fight, it can be anywhere around. What are you paying attention to?
So I was looking back at where I am, and am I with Finch? Is that who I'm with?
Yes, you were talking to Finch, but if you want to have wandered from there, that's fine, because that was prior to the fight. So
that's what I was thinking. That was prior to the fight. So let me think about where I might go. Let's see. Okay, Ark's up there. Cyrus is there. Because I feel like I probably would have tried to be strategic in my location. I mean, obviously, since Tyler's fighting, like, I'm probably going to be near the fight, at least pretending to watch. But I think I might have, like, moved over. Okay, let me move that so I can actually move the bar here. Thank you. Love my little box of Zoom that gets in my way. So I think I'm probably going to have moved over to see like the left side here where there's like some benches and there's some other folk, just to kind of do some casual people watching while keeping my eye on the
that was also Tyler's corner, so
it was also Tyler's corner. I mean, I was already in Tyler's corner essentially.
Yeah.
So I just kind of moved what side of the corner I was on.
Yep.
But that keeps me in Tyler's corner because that's logically where people would expect me to be, while also then being able to go to a new section and see what buzz I can hear, slash, keep an eye on the fight just in case something crazy happens.
Just sort of a point of interest. You do notice as you're standing here, there's a small knot of the female fighters over here. They just kind of seem to be sort of, good-naturedly ribbing each other and sort of heckling back and forth. You see the halfling girl who was fighting earlier and just tearing people up. You see a couple of dwarven women up on the shelf above.
Yeah.
So, are you focusing on Tyler during the fight?
I'm trying to think, because I'm also thinking, are most of these women Fae? Because I'm trying to think of when the last time Lexi would have gone. Because I don't think I think we established that Lexi hadn't really seen the place since it became bigger to do with Banner's Banner and Main's partnership. So I probably wouldn't know them.
I'll say you don't immediately recognize. There's one dwarven man kind of sticking out. You are sort of towering over the people closest to you because it's a halfling woman and two dwarves.
Yeah.
But honestly, they seem pretty friendly. They seem to recognize you as a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
You see the fire genasi woman, mechanically fire genasi. Really, she's some sort of flame-touched fey spirit. You see one of the tiny, belligerent pixies, some of whom just knocked the crap out of some of Ayla's students.
Right.
You recognize a few of the human fighters. There's two or three that have sort of carried over. One thing you definitely notice about it is you had never seen Hero Light before you started using it.
Right.
And now, every human that fought here tonight, except for Vela's students,
uses it.
Had at least a little bit of Hero Light happening.
Yeah.
And some of them not enough for the others to notice. Like Oric and Cyrus might have missed it. You see it always. It's clearer to you.
Yeah.
Which brings us to a good point. Give me I'll give you the same deal. Perception or Arcana check.
I'll do perception. 16.
16. So you're watching the fight, and man, when did Tyler get this strong? Tyler is a humanly exceptional fighter. That's part of why he managed to not actually get dishonorably discharged. Top-rated hand-to-hand fighter, just by a large margin. But it's like the more he got beat up during this fight, the stronger he got.
Yeah.
And he had a particularly bright form of Hero Light. It didn't necessarily strike you as negative.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same as what some of the Kingsguard had.
Yeah.
Now you do notice something interesting about what Davis is doing.
Okay.
Because again, Davis, you've gathered, is a tough guy for sure, but you saw Davis get beat the heck up by the fiendish warlocks at the Hall of Light.
Right.
And admittedly, he held off a dozen of them, but it was not the same power class that he seems to be working in now. What draws your attention is the piece of quartz hanging on a chain around his neck. As he fights, it's like when you saw Davis's light before, it was always white with a golden tinge. That quartz seems to have a spark, this sort of like dancing ribbon of this rainbow colored light inside of it. And what was it you rolled at, like a 16?
Yeah.
It's familiar, but you can't quite place it. But you can at least put together, it seems like maybe Davis is getting a boost from something.
Right.
All right, over to Auric.
Yes.
So Auric, you are as close as an expert in all things fairy as the party has. And it's like your brain is sort of swimming. It's sort of running in slow motion. Like you're thinking of things just like a minute or two after it would have been really helpful to realize.
Sounds about par for the course.
So it's weird that there's a demand down here. Like,
yeah.
Banner is probably sort of the biggest fae in this room. But he's not this strong. Like, a demand is like a high class ability of the fae. What you do know is that different, sort of clans and bloodlines and individuals and techniques all have different sort of inclinations. I mean, just in general, when it comes to fae magic, but especially when it comes to a demand. Certain fae, it's easier for them. And there are certain techniques you can master that make it easier to create these spaces.
Okay.
Someone here is creating this space, and as you watch it sort of distort in the midst of this fight, you realize that this seems to be some kind of technique. This is a specific sort of spell that is amplifying an element of fae magic that might not be powerful enough to do this on its own. And it's right about that time that you notice that Banner is heading for Maine when the room starts going wonky. Putting pieces together, it hits you. Maine seems to be the one who is holding this space together. And the fact that she's distracted while this very powerful fight is happening seems to be what's causing this. And you're not entirely sure what happens if you're inside of a demand and it collapses. The guess is not good.
Yeah, let's not find out.
So that kind of brings us up to current. So the last thing you saw, there's a woman arguing with Maine. Two silver-haired men have kind of walked up towards the table but haven't quite made it there yet. A bunch of burly figures have kind of infiltrated the room. Folks who are clearly more armed than they should be for fight night. But in the process of sort of getting into this space, one of them has pissed off this blonde elven woman that beat him with a staircase. So all of these things are happening at once. The edges of the room are doing a kind of like... most of the lights have gone out. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna go try and distract the woman that's distracting Maine.
All right. Are you going to actually like go down the stairs?
Yeah, I think I will.
All right. Give me a perception check as you head down the stairs.
Oh no.
Was it-
Oh, good. Natural 20 because I have no bonuses.
Nice.
You got lucky.
Got lucky.
Because otherwise you were going to trip down them dark stairs.
So it's not the stairs. You make it okay on the stairs. We'll say that you kind of like nightlight yourself with a little bit of like flaming bolt.
Just learned how to use his cell phone as a flashlight by now, I'm sure.
Prestidigitation.
That's true. Little sparks. Maybe it's from the demand sort of distorting in this space. As you come down the stairs, it becomes clearer. Almost all of the figures who have come into this space are wearing rings of seeming. And as the space distorts, it's easier for you to see. If you were up close, you'd see through automatically. But at a distance, it's a little bit harder. As you... so as you get closer, you can see that the burly figures, they don't change too much. Man, I still need to make you a human token. I just keep thinking of it, and then I can never find one that, like, I'm super thrilled with.
Mm.
So as you come down, the sort of burly armed figures, they don't change too much. It's lots of little things, like the ears come just a little bit to a point. Some of them are a little shorter than they look and are actually like very large dwarves. Some of them are actually taller than they look and have like an unearthly amount of muscle, which suggests maybe some kind of like, Fey half-orc or Goliath or just, some version of fairy that is just ripped. You see a few that have horns, not like tiefling horns, but almost more like antlers, like what you might see on like an antelope, different sort of animalistic features. And what you also see
Tall dragon.
is that the two silver-haired individuals are wearing powerful rings of seeming. And as you get close, they have their backs to you. But even from the back, you recognize, the different configurations of horns and spines are almost as telling as a human's face or hair. As you walk up, you recognize these two.
Yup.
And maybe it wouldn't have struck you quite so fast, except that they had just been referenced in a letter you received.
Yup.
These are your cousins.
Yup. So to be clear, are they the ones that are distracting Maine? Or is this a third person?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Woo, 8.
Oh no.
With an 8, I'll give you this. You know it's this woman here who is doing the distracting. And as you get closer, she doesn't seem to change too much. Her skin tone is a little bit darker. And she has almost like a triangular, like Superman upper body. is just like huge, like wide in shoulder, absolutely ripped. She's the one who is actively distracting Maine. You're not sure what her relationship is with these other two.
Right. And did I catch any of the conversation? I mean, I was far enough away that probably not, but
Not the specifics. It did seem like it wasn't. You did catch something really odd. It seemed like the conversation was going badly from sort of the body language that you gathered. And if it was humans, you might not know for sure what was going on. But you read Fae better than you read human. They were very much like, she was very much invading Maine's personal space. And if she was only a stranger, it would be very hostile, for sure. But Maine didn't seem as bothered by it as you would expect. It seems like this is a complicated interaction happening, but one which is decidedly bad, but maybe has some history to it.
mm-hmm. Okay. Check my skills real quick. Drunken Master Go. I am going to pretend to drunkenly stumble into the woman. I mean, pretend to be drunk, but actually stumble into her.
Give me a. We'll start with a deception check, and then we'll see what happens.
Yep. Okay, it's a 14 on deception. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot better.
I don't know why it doesn't give you a roller when you're just looking at a sheet. And what was the total?
It was 14 total.
So, yeah, you just full like stumble into her, and there's sort of an outraged like, watch where you're going. What are you even doing? But
Sorry. Can I make it up for you? Get your drink.
no, what are you even? Get out of here! Just get out of here!
But I feel real. I'm really sorry. I want to make it up to you.
While this distraction is happening, Maine is going to take advantage and start heading for the back room. There's two silver Dragonborn figures. One is has much more like of a blocky build, very stout, very muscular. The other one is a little bit more. It's almost like the difference between like a defensive lineman and like a running back is kind of the vibe you get here. And you can even see up close. The one that you're next to is wearing like heavy armor, and the other one seems to be more lightly armored. That one sort of takes the opportunity to sort of tuck after Maine and sort of try to follow her. The other one sort of indignantly is like, sir, you obviously need to step away, and interposes a giant silver scaled hand and says, apologize to the woman and step away.
I turn to face him, and this is the really, really big one, right?
Yeah.
I put one hand
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I'd say this close you recognize this is Argent.
All right. Put one hand on Argent's shoulder. You're really pretty.
I really want to know if Arjun can see through your ring of seeming. Although, no, you don't have a ring of seeming
don't have a
anymore.
ring of seeming
You're a little
anymore.
different.
Yeah. Oryx really able to sort of play the game right here.
Oh, man.
Argent lets out a sigh. And as it sort of passes out of his teeth, it like frosts in the air and says, I'm going to need you to step away. There's important things happening, and you're interfering. And you hear the other Dragonborn yell, Argent, what are you doing? We have to follow her.
Can I buy you a drink?
He's going to make an athletics check with disadvantage. He's not trying to hurt you, but he is trying to, like, gently but firmly get you out of the way. Sorry, I'm throwing everybody in an encounter so that I can have stat blocks. Even the people you don't know about yet. I have a great big long list of all the NPCs in this room.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yep. And I theoretically I know what stat block goes with who. Don't necessarily ask me to verify that, but okay, who else needs to be in here? Okay, I got most of the important ones. There we go. All right. So he's going to make an athletics check with disadvantage, and go ahead and give me an athletics check.
This is probably not going to go well. Well, I got a natural 20, which makes it a 19.
Oh. So he got a dirty 20, even with disadvantage, because he is a big, meaty dragon knight boy. So you criticaled, but you technically tied. So I think what happens is you don't like push him out of the way, but you sort of like you manage to stay in his space in a really awkward way and like not let yourself get pushed out. It's not like you just push him. It's almost more of like a drunken like weight shift, and then you're like leaning up against him like it's
You're
just like,
really strong.
why? And the woman is going to take advantage of the opportunity to follow as well. So let's cut away for a second. What is Cyrus doing? So the edge of the space around you is warping and distorting. Most of the lights have gone out in this room. What do you want to do?
Have Shane and Davis headed anywhere?
Shane is down.
Yeah, Shane is down in the center. Leon is down. Tyler and Davis were still fighting. And yeah.
Okay. And sorry, what was a woman hit somebody with a staircase?
Yes. Um, there was an elven woman. Seeing if yeah, lots of lights have gone out. There was an elven woman who's still kind of over in that area, who just fully like ripped one of these. I mean, basically like a 2-story staircase, ripped it off and smashed one of these burly people with it.
And then, sorry, I can't tell kind of who's who of the tokens. So where is that? What happened? Is that this group of 4 like right next to me?
Yes. If you see, so Banner is to the closest one. Those 3 burly people have blocked his way. Behind them is one of their friends that they don't realize has been flattened with a staircase.
Okay.
And behind him, in the sort of swelling darkness of the room, is the person who hit him with a staircase.
Okay. Yeah, I think Cyrus is still most concerned about keeping an eye on Shane, not knowing kind of like if people are gonna pop back up, or kind of how that healing goes. So especially if lights are going out, I don't know if he's got to move closer to the ring in order to see what's going on inside there.
So you should just be able to kind of move yourself until you're yeah, I mean, like, you should be able to, whatever you can see is what you're actually seeing.
Oh, okay. So that's not moving isn't actually changing my.
You could potentially use magic to help you see, if you have any. You also probably have just like an actual flashlight.
Yeah, don't have any seeing magic. Yeah, I really don't.
Pulling up the character sheet.
I guess I'm torn because like I think Cyrus would make sure to stay on Shane. Right now, the light in the room isn't changing for me when I move, and I can see Shane. So I don't know that Cyrus is going anywhere.
Oh yeah, you have a flashlight if you want it.
Okay. I guess using the map, I can't come up with an action that allows me to accomplish Cyrus's goal because it feels like Cyrus's goal can be accomplished with no action right now. So
That's true.
so I
you're
guess
just keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll sort of jump back to them once they move. So they'll do stuff once all of you have had a chance to go.
Okay.
Which brings us to Lexi. Lexi, a lot of the room has been plunged into darkness. You can still see the fighters in the center. You can actually see. You can probably make out Auric in the distance by the betting table. Cyrus is still kind of in the light. What do you want to do?
All right, let me look at the screen here, see what I can see. I mean, I think with the lights going out, Lexi's first thought is going to be turning to see where she can pinpoint Cyrus and Auric. And so in doing that, she's probably going to see that, Auric is getting himself a little bit in trouble and begin to make her way over there.
All right. We'll call it a dash action. So go ahead and move. Are you still at 60 or have you finally gotten a movement bump?
Good question. Let me see here. I'm at 40 feet.
All right. So you can move 80.
All right. And each block is 1?
Each block is 5.
5. Thank you. Okay.
So 40 takes you basically to the corner.
Okay. To the corner. Not quite, but close enough. Come on, little map. Move with me here. And then, how do I pull that in? No. Times. Okay. Okay, that's about 40. That's about 80 there is where I'm at now.
So now other people are going to respond.
Yeah, because I'm moving through people. I might be standing on somebody right now for all I know.
So you can actually cast light if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You have to take 1 point of damage. Are you okay with that?
Probably. I think I'm at full health.
So we'll just say you just
am.
literally cut your hand basically.
Okay.
I forget you can speak with animals. We don't ever use that.
I know. I need to.
She spoke with the cats.
That's true. So this might be one of the first times you've activated this intentionally. Because you always glow when you summon the hero light.
Right.
But it's almost been sort of as a side element, compared to the rage and the fire that you're going for. So this time you just kind of real quick, and it's a specific hand. Which hand is it? You can make your right hand glow.
Okay.
So your right hand is kind of
fiery.
All right. Now, other folks are going to start acting. A lot of people who are not quite as committed to these shenanigans are going to start bailing.
Yeah.
The 2 dwarven women are going to take a dash action and get most of the way to the door. Most of the human fighters are just like, nope, 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 and are going to start making their way out of here.
No.
So they start running up the stairs and disappear. The fire genasi woman is going to start getting a little... She's going to start getting a little heated with one of the... with a burly woman from the group. they're starting to exchange words, and the two sort of belligerent pixies are joining her. The dwarven man's going to kind of come up. The halfling woman is kind of standing to the side, but has not ruled out doing something here. The Kingsguard are all going to sort of huddle up almost immediately. Davis is going to hold a hand out. And there's just like a little flicker of light over Shane and Leon. And they are both going to pop back up with some health. They're all going to go sort of join this crew. Davis sort of grabs the quartz amulet, and waves of rainbow light sort of flicker around him, and all of the Kingsguard disappear together.
Oh, fun.
All right, then.
Tyler is going to go grab the now conscious Leon. I'm going to remove the 15 status effects that Leon died with.
Poor Leon.
Tyler is going to go help Leon to his feet. These 2, 3, these are all human women, and they're heading for the door. The elven woman with the, who I guess is now sort of in line of sight for you all, with the she broke the set of stairs, picked up a bench, walked over, and is now going to swing the bench down on probably she probably wouldn't hit Banner. She's just going to hit the guy right in front of her. Oh no, she only got a 10. This guy like sees it coming and like rolls to the side. And now there's this weird 3-way standoff happening of this woman and Banner and these 3 individuals. All right. At sort of the top of the quasi initiative we're in, everyone give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. 11.
Oh, fuck. 8. Thanks to that +6 that I have on
15.
Constitution.
What? Ooh, hiss.
So what were they again?
8.
11.
15.
All right. With a 15, Cyrus, you're okay. Lexi and Auric, the space around you swims, and it's very disorienting. It's sort of like not just physical, not just sort of a sense vertigo, but like a magical, mental, emotional vertigo. You are just sort of upended in every possible way. So until this time next turn, you are considered poisoned.
Oh, fun.
You're not actually poisoned, but it's just the closest status effect.
Right.
Gotcha.
All right. So Auric, you're at the top. The whole world has just sort of swam around you. That's the internal dialogue. Swam?
Swim.
Oh,
Common is weird.
damn.
You can't get there.
I can't get...
You can't leap over the bar.
Well, since I just had a wave of... and I've been pretending to be drunk.
That's true. It would be very suspicious if you were suddenly able to leap over the bar.
I was going to... how to say... feign vomiting and use my metallic breath weapon, my enervating breath. But unfortunately, I can only reach the woman. I cannot reach the other Dragonborn, which I would have figured that one was Argent and Stultus was the one behind me.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. But since I can only get the one, or actually, no, there's really no good way to get both of them. Unless I were to stumble around Argent. And then that's 15 feet there and 15 there, and I can aim the cone that way. And just, bleh. It's going to kind of give the game up, but I'm okay with that.
At this point, you might need to give the game up.
I need both of them to make a con save or become incapacitated.
Argent goes, "Hey, what are you? Oh, that's terrible."
Oh, gross, man.
And it's a DC 13.
Stultus got a nat 1.
Oh!
What was her block? Let's see how she do. She got a 16.
All right. So she's fine and Stultus is incapacitated by a dry heave.
I mean, there's just no way that a silver dragonborn doesn't put this together in this moment.
Yeah.
So that was your action. So Argent is going to be like, "What? No, what are you doing?" He's still trying not to hurt you.
If Argent only knew who you were, he'd probably have no qualms.
He'd probably throw me into a wall if he knew who I was.
Well, I mean, as you related in sort of your backstory generation, Stultus is the one who is sort of the prick.
Yeah.
Argent has always struck you more as like a like a big loyal dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's just following orders.
Right.
Give me an athletics check.
All right. My -1 gives me a 18 or 16. Sorry.
What is happening? He rolled a 2 on the die, +8, but a 2 on the die. So yeah, you've like multi-class to monk at this point.
Drunken master.
He reaches out and is just gonna like very firmly like grab you by the head and just like drop you down. Not in a way to hurt you, but just to stun you. And you're just like, I think instead he goes to sort of push you down, and instead you sort of like roll up into the crook of his arm and like are right here.
You have pretty eyes.
What are you? There's much more frost coming off the edge of his mouth now. All right. So the woman didn't get hit. So Maine goes somewhere. The woman is also going to follow back here. You hear the some kind of like shouted something happening back there. I would say also at this time, you see the elven, the surviving elven fighter sort of pokes his head out and is like, "What is happening out here?" And just sees like the chaos beginning and is like, so he's going to dash back and start getting people out of there. All right. What does Cyrus do?
Who's the person behind the gaming table again?
That is Maine. From what you have put together, she is the non-eponymous third partner of Banner and Norton's, and seem to be in charge of the finances.
Wait, but she didn't go in the back?
Do you mean the one currently behind the table?
Oh, currently behind the table. No, Maine went in the back. From where you're standing, you see a silver-haired man, kind of a... There's a weird disconnect. The clothing is weird. I think that it's like an 80s suit. Like it's just too loud and too much and too old. But there is also like an unearthly charisma that you recognize as Faye.
Okay.
Both of which are slightly less relevant than the way that they have like locked up in mid step and are
No, why not? Let's get in trouble. Cyrus is gonna dash for the back room.
all right.
Oh wait, are we like in initiative? Like I can cunning action?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
kind of like loosely in initiative.
Okay. Then just for fun, Cyrus is gonna cast invisibility on himself and dash for the back room.
All right. Yeah, I think anyone who it's going to be relevant back there doesn't see you do this. So you just... So I would say, yeah, you can move double your movement, basically.
Is the door solid?
The door is solid.
Oh. Did you still have movement left?
Yeah, I've got like 2 or 3 squares.
You come in to find the woman, this woman who is much larger than you remember. She's rattling the door that I know you were told earlier it was an office. I think they specifically said it was Maine's office. So she's trying to kind of get this door open, and even though it's kind of some of the lights have gone out back here, the half ogre bouncer is still doing his job and is walking forward trying to be like, "Hey, miss, you can't be back here. You need to leave." Of course, he doesn't see you, so.
Right.
All right. What is Lexi doing this turn?
Lexi.
$1 million question.
I know, that's $1 million question indeed. What can Lexi do that is not like, I ain't ready to get started on fight. Although I know we're probably about to get there. What can I do here? What spells do I have? Anything? I guess what I would do in that moment, because I don't want to immediately attack. Which one is the one that
Argent?
Argent, yeah. Don't want to immediately start a fight for once in my life. Saying something, learning restraint. But I think I would probably like come up to try and like support Auric, you know, in that moment. Kind of the buddy. Hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? What happened? That kind of thing.
They're multiplying.
What is your problem?
Got pretty eyes.
Yes, Lab, they're very pretty.
This is that weird anime vibe of like, but he doesn't know that's his cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
Although you do know that's your cousin, but your cousin doesn't know that's your cousin.
Yeah, the cousin doesn't know. Lexi doesn't know.
This is real anime shenanigans happening here. All right, what was even happening? We're really genre bending all over the place. So they've gone. Did Maine go before?
Yeah, Maine was in my clump.
Okay. They're there. The only Lexi sees this. The blonde elven woman, sort of looks at the bench like it disappointed her, and steps forward, and very just like casually, oh man, she is going to. Yep. She grabs one guy and just throws him at another. She takes another step. Grabs the other guy and throws him.
Okay.
She's out of actions, but is going to take... Nope, that's not right. She has one more.
Why is she angry again?
Who knows?
Don't know.
One of them bumped into her.
Okay. Okay.
And she fully throws the last one like 30 feet. Just like one hand, like throwing out the trash. This very petite, blonde, elven woman.
I'll mess with them.
Banner is... we've got to do a... Banner's going to do a charisma saving throw. He failed real bad. Banner is in love. Banner is just making like just huge doe eyes, like cartoon hearts. Like this is the most beautiful woman ever. All the Kingsguard left. Finch is gonna meet up with the spacey bartender, and they're both gonna start making their way out. Tyler is helping Leon sort of get out. Tyler does not like all of the uninvited violence. And Tyler is still in unconquerable soul mode. So Tyler is just going to start throwing punches. We'll give him some rolls. Hit. Miss. And hit. Nearest person, he just knocks them unconscious. There's now a tussle breaking out with the Genasi woman, the two pixies, and one of the burly women. The dwarf and the halfling seem to reach some kind of accord, and the two of them like run. The dwarf is kind of silent, just sort of like pulls out like a big weapon and is like, but the halfling lets out this like horrifying like battle yodel. And as she runs, there's all these like flickering images of all these other halflings appearing around her. And one of these burly men just disappears in like a cloud of spectral halfling fists. And every so often, this dwarven hammer comes up out of the cloud and comes down, and there's a loud clank. The two female dwarven fighters exit. The human female fighters exit. All right. We are back to the top, I think, with Auric.
Yep.
Auric, what's happening?
I pat Argent on the shoulder and point at the elven woman and say, "You should buy her a drink." And then while he is hopefully distracted, I'm going to activate my Ring of Obscuring.
My favorite part of this is that you will, in fact, be blocking out Lexi, too.
Yep.
Thanks.
Sorry.
What's the radius on it?
It's 20 feet centered where I cast it, not centered on me. So it'll stay there.
You know, I think I have some neat cloud effects. I have fancy assets now.
You know that's going to bite you in the butt.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, last time he cast it, he almost died, so...
Yeah. But Vela has modified it now, so I can see through it.
It's true.
Well, Lexi's reaction is going to be something to the effect of, "God damn it, Auric." So...
Yeah, probably.
Emphasis on using his first name in front of his cousin that she doesn't know is his cousin that he's trying to pretend is not his cousin right now. So
seeing you come up is part of the reason why I did the fog cloud. I figured my name was coming.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I was like, I know I have something here. It's not grasping tentacles. It's not a sound blast. It's not a circle of death.
Oh, but it could be.
No, thank you.
This is how they get you. You're like, I can get by without all this stuff. Then they give you some, and you're like, oh, but I could. All right. Is that 20, or is it not big enough yet?
That's a 20 diameter. It needs to be 20 radius.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's big.
Like that? 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will book it for the door.
And I'll put it in the back so I can actually get the tokens. Yeah, so Lexi, Yeah, you just see Auric like, drunkenly laying on the silver dragonborn, and then
God damn it, Auric!
Argent goes, Auric? But now doesn't know where you are.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. We're at the top of the round. Everybody give me another con save.
Oh, come on. That was
Did I
almost
move?
19.
An 11!
14.
Do I still make them in the back room?
Yes, this whole space is going wonky.
Oh, okay.
18.
All right. Lexi, you are disoriented and poisoned-ish.
Great.
So Auric just dashed into this back room. This is becoming a very tight space. At the
Like
end
my
of
lap.
Auric's turn, does your breath weapon end?
Yeah.
So he was going until the start of your next turn. So he is no longer incapacitated. Stultus goes, What? What is this? What is going on? Argent! Argent! And Stultus is going to go to the door where there is now a backlog of people. And Stultus is not nice. And Stultus is going to...
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, he can get everybody. Auric, Cyrus, the bouncer, and this woman are all going to need to make con saves.
Woo! Okay, 15. There we go.
That's actually decent.
Yeah. That's my average.
Ah.
Second con save.
Yep.
Oh, there's average math. 4.
Whew. All right. Do you have evasion yet? This would be
Yes.
Yes. Thank goodness. You take 22 points of cold damage with evasion.
So is this when I should be a fair player and tell you that evasion only affects dex saves, not con saves?
Oh no.
But wait, if this is what I think it is, it should be a dex save, shouldn't it?
Actually, let me double check. Did I say? His is different. Sorry. That should actually be a charisma save if it affects anything.
Give me +1 to it, so it'll be a 15 or 16 instead of a 15.
Yeah, my modifier is the same.
All right. That's just enough. So Auric is actually going to pass now. So Cyrus still fails. Oh boy. Cyrus, you take 44 points of damage and you are charmed.
Oh boy.
Auric, you take you're cold resistant, right?
I am cold resistant.
So you're gonna take and you pass, so you take 11 and are not charmed.
And there's no way, like, there's no way for a concentration check to pass here, right? Like, that just drops my invisibility.
You can see if you get a nat 20.
Okay. Nope.
So, Auric, you are the only one to pass this, but also you are. This is confusing. So you see You see Stultus run up, and like the sound of like a breath weapon inhalation. But when Stultus breathes in, it's almost like there is a cloud of multicolored rainbow gaseous light in the air. And as Stultus breathes in, that sort of swirls and compresses with the frost. And then he breathes out, and it's this trippy combination of ice and frost and snow. But there's also these like opalescent and rainbow streaks of color dancing and flashing off things. And the ice is not just like natural looking ice. Some of it is also like forming into weird shapes, like icy butterflies that fly through the air, trailing rainbow colored frost and flecks behind them. And as it washes over everyone else, you see their eyes kind of their faces go a little slack.
Okay. And I respond by going, well, I'm a bit more sober now. Thank you.
And this is very new. You've never seen this before. Certainly not from Stultus. All right. That was that move. And then Stultus says, excuse me, I need through here. The human woman just steps to the side. How would Cyrus respond to that if Cyrus is charmed?
Yeah, he'd probably just nod and step back as well.
All right. So the guard goes, "Oh, yeah, sure. Here, let me get the door for you."
Whoa.
And steps forward and just sort of reaches down and just pulls the lock off, like the whole apparatus off the door, and then steps back. Argent is, what the blasted Stultus, Auric? What is going on? And is just sort of like yelling in frustration and doesn't really know what to do about this cloud. I will, I guess, give him an intelligence check. He got a 13. He's going to step out of the cloud and try to figure out what's happening. Lexi, what are you doing?
I'm gonna get out of the cloud too. Though don't know which direction I'm gonna go. It might involve stumbling through some things. Probably honestly gonna go back this way to get out of it.
All right. So you're able to sort of find your way to a wall
edge.
without tripping over a table.
Yeah. Kind of go around the edge here. Probably carefully making my way over this way. But,
all right.
On the edge.
So stuff happens, but actually at this point, the three of you can't see what's happening outside.
Yep.
You just vaguely hear the sounds of like fighting and yelling and the distinctive sounds of like supernatural combat happening. All right, we'll jump back up to the top. To add to the confusion, the let's see if I can shrink them all at once. Yeah. Three of the belligerent pixies all sort of run out in the hallway and are like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," and just run between people's feet. They're going to make their way out. One of the half ogre bouncers who participated in a fight. I guess that's Thark. That's Thark back there. Thark is going to carry the two. Is going to start carrying the two unconscious wizard students out the door.
Good.
All right. We're back to the top. Everyone give me another con save.
I have a +5. You'd think I would do better on these. Oh, finally, 24.
All right.
Oh, 15. It's the highest con save I've rolled tonight.
16.
All right. You all pass.
Yay!
You're sort of adjusting to it a little bit. And this time it doesn't disorient you the same way. All right. Auric, what are you doing?
All right. So where exactly is Stultus in relation to me?
Oh, sorry. Stultus has opened the door and is right behind you.
Okay. And it's this door to the south of me that is the one that just got ripped off?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm probably going to draw an opportunity attack, but I'm just going to slide through that door.
All right. Yeah. Stultus is a jerk and is going to try and hit you in the back. Stultus whips out this this rapier that you've never seen before. Immediately looks like a fey magical artifact. It's almost like someone combined. It's almost like someone took motifs of a butterfly wing, and then mingled it with snow and ice. So parts of it seem to just be ice glowing in different colors. And this delicate blade, he's just going to across your back with it. Get back here. 20 to hit.
I am going to use my Lesser Ring of Misdirection.
All right. What does that do?
When hit with an opportunity attack, expend 1 charge to cast the Mislead spell. Your illusory double is hit by the attack instead of you, and you and the double can immediately move up to your remaining speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
All right. So the blade slashes through your duplicate that appears out of nowhere. All right. So you want to push on into the room?
I'm going to step through the door. And maybe I'm going to get a step further away from the door. Look at Maine and be like, sorry to interrupt. And then turn back around. And in the doorway, I am going to cast, what is it? It's not a big beast. It's Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
All right.
So there is now a 5-foot earthen hand in the doorway.
All right. You throw this earthen hand into the intervening space. So the room that you've stepped into, it looks like the combination of a really nice study, like a sort of an aristocratic library. But there's also some comfortable furniture. There's a desk and multiple different kinds of arcane equipment here. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, it was on the 19 and then it rolled to the 1.
Man.
I got a 5.
She is collapsing this space to kill you all.
Obviously.
Yeah. She seems very focused on doing something at one of the tables. And is like, I'm a little busy right now.
I'm going to assume that you are busy keeping this demand open, and I would like to not be in here if it collapses, so I'm going to help you not collapse it.
All right. So she's doing a thing. Lexi, what are you doing?
Oh,
Oh, have Argent and
problem.
Stultus gone?
I still have Argent here on. I actually have both of them on my screen, and I can't see into the other room,
Okay.
but they're both still sitting here with me.
Argent is just going to go on in. It's relevant, though, because Stultus is now in your way, in the doorway.
Oh, well, see, I was gonna body check
Anybody who's in the
Argent.
way.
Yeah.
All right. Give me an athletics check, then.
Let's see here. 21.
All right. Let's see how he do. Only got a 16. You managed to kind of like push him slightly out of the way. So do you want to go through the door?
Sure.
He will make an opportunity attack as you go by.
Go for it.
He pulls out a very different looking weapon. This one is a it's silvery, but it still looks like it's steel. This sort of
Okay.
silvery weapon with glowing blue energy around it, and is going to slash at you. That's a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
11 points of slashing and 20 points of cold damage.
All right. Well, that is going to, let's see here.
Now, have you actually raged yet?
No, I have not raged yet. See, that's the thing, was I was trying to get away around not totally fighting, but I was gonna say, would that allow me to? I can't rage as
As a
a
reaction.
reaction, can
Nope.
I? Damn. No, I can hero light as a reaction though,
Yeah.
so I will do that. All right, that's 7 points of damage to him, radiant damage.
So I should fix this. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, the smaller reaction does say when you are raging. But I haven't added that to the other one yet, so.
Okay.
All
You mean the
right.
hero light?
Well, so Hero Light is two separate abilities.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got the one you've always had.
Right.
Well, you've had it since the Halls of Light.
Right.
What you're using is the new one, Blinding Light, that you got from that piece from Marcus Prim.
Okay. Okay.
So go ahead and roll the 4d6 radiant damage.
Okay, plus my constitution modifier. So that is 20.
All right. He succeeded on the save, so he's going to take half.
Okay.
And he is not blinded.
Okay.
So that gets you in there. So you've only used your
Movement and reaction.
yeah. So you still have your action.
I'm a rage.
I was about to say, I
All
feel like
right.
getting stabbed in the back would make me angry.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask if I could, if that would. Let's see here. Actions. Where's my inventory? There we go. Boom. Okay.
All right. So you rage. Anything else?
No, because that's my action. So I can't attack really.
No, raging is a bonus action.
Oh, raging's a bonus action?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can attack. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. See, I wasn't sure if I thought I'd used up everything I had.
Nope.
Okay. All right, which one of these boxes closest to me?
So
Okay,
you
so-
this room is very weird now that you've stepped into it.
yeah, it's real small.
Well, in every every sort of flat surface in a sort of 30-foot area ahead of you is caked in this ice and snow and frost, but with all these weird multicolored lights coming off of them. There's multicolored butterflies like dancing through the air made of ice. There's like these big, beautiful, almost sort of like tropical birds with like long, trailing plumage. But they still seem to be made of ice and snow, but they're trailing this light behind them.
Okay.
And all of this color and frost is like painted across this human or this fey woman, Cyrus, and the half ogre bouncer, and they seem kind
Okay.
of dazed.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go for one of the dragons, one of the cousins. Let's see. So who? Oh, names. I was gonna say whichever one just attacked me, I'm probably gonna
Stultus is
smack.
the one that hit you.
Stultus is the one that hit me. All right, I'm gonna hit Stultus then. All right, let's see here. All right, that's a 17.
All right, and you're hitting Stultus. I think Argent is the one that hit you.
Oh, is it Argent? Okay.
I'm hitting whichever one hit me. So
That's Argent. That's the one behind you.
Okay.
okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was Argent.
Yeah, Stultus used the breath weapon on the others.
Okay.
Stultus tried to make an opportunity attack against Auric, and Auric used the misdirection.
Okay. All right, so 17 to hit
Argent.
Argent.
17 does not hit. It actually is going to just clang. In addition to this frosty sword, Argent has this massive shield that he has just seemed to have like pulled out of the air and just and knocks away the brewer's mallet.
Well, good thing I can hit twice. Nope. That was a 12.
Yep. He's going to go ahead and use his reaction. It imposes disadvantage, but also you see like a burst of frost comes off of the shield and sort of layers up over him.
Hang on. Did you equip your rage?
Yes, my rage is equipped.
Okay, because that adds a bonus, so I want to make sure.
Yes.
But not to attack rolls.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
All right. Cyrus, you are charmed. So you can use your action to repeat the saving throw.
Okay. Which
Charisma.
charisma? Nope.
So your best buddy Stultus here has stuff he needs to do. So what do you want to do with your bonus action and movement?
Are we in the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. We're not in a room. We're just all in the hallway.
Yeah, you're awkwardly in this hallway. The door to the sort of locker room is open. And I guess I can shift that because that door's open now. Yes, as is this one.
Why is that room green?
Why is which room green?
The room we came from.
Auric.
Oh yeah, that's Oryx's giant ring of
Obscuring
obscure.
Okay.
cloud.
Oryx just like pulling out all the weird magic rings that he's been collecting.
Yup.
So here's the thing. Stultus may be my new best buddy, but I have literally 1 hit point.
That's true.
So I don't care how good a friend he is.
That's very Cyrus.
I think I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure it involves some combination of dodge or disengage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't figure out if he would. I don't know that he would leave, though, if he's been charmed.
I mean, I'll sort of leave that up to you. At 1 hit point, here's another way to think of it. What would Cyrus do if Auric or Lexi was in this space and needed something, but Cyrus was at 1 hit point?
Yeah. I don't have any way to. Oh, that's as an action. Okay. All right, so I think Cyrus will go, here, I'll help you. And he's going to dodge and move into the room to the south. You tell me what you need.
All right.
Now the door is being blocked by a big hand.
I'll say, so it's up to, in this case, then it would be up to Auric. Do you let Cyrus into the room?
Crap. I think I have to.
Although it's a good question, too. Is it actually like an object?
Oh, okay. I can't see that on the.
It doesn't have a border, but it's probably just out of the in the darkness.
My thing keeps like only showing me light to my north. I'm not sure why.
I would think you can move through it. It doesn't
Yeah.
have hit points or an AC. Although it has a size, which is weird, but it doesn't have hit points or an AC.
Yeah, that's what threw me off.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, so I think he'll probably just turn to Maine and be like, "Is it all right? I got hurt real bad. I'm just gonna hang out in the corner."
All right. While all that's going on, again, you all can't actually see what's happening outside. Something really crazy happened, though.
Man.
They make an exit. They're just going to start piecing. All right. So, whatever is happening seems to be getting worse. It seems like maybe this was started by the pressure from the fight between Leon, Tyler, Shane, and Davis. But whatever it is seems to be sort of cascading at this point. Every few seconds, there's a sort of spatial distortion, and everything sort of warps like a cartoon and back. Whatever this is seems to be getting much, much worse. There's sounds of screaming and confusion and fighting, and a horrifying roar that shakes this whole building. Even with its sort of magically reinforced nature, you feel it shaking through the wood, through the stones underneath, through the air around you. You feel it all the way down to your bones as something roars in the space outside. And that's where we'll put a pin in it for this week.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to kill the stream. Goodbye, Internet. I think you're all bots, but there was a lot of bots tonight, so, that's a thing.
Sometimes.
Good night if you're not a bot.